I stood in my own living room wearing the white dress my mother had bought for our family Christmas photo, and she looked at me and said the words that finally broke me. "Rachel, actually, you're not needed for this one. This was supposed to be our annual family one that would go on Christmas cards to 200 people. But my adoptive mother had decided that I, the brown-skinned daughter, didn't fit the aesthetic. The photographer heard her. And what Carmen Rodriguez did next, did you just save that photo session? It exposed 14 years of erasure that my family thought no one would ever call out. My name is Rachel Martinez. I'm 17 years old. And I've been a foster for 14 years, since I was 3, when my biological parents died and I was adopted from the Connecticut foster care system. For most of my childhood, I genuinely believed I was part of this family. But somewhere around middle school, things shifted. My mother started referring to Ethan and Madison as the kids and me as Rachel. Family photos started appearing on social media without me in them. And this year, when planning the Christmas card photo, my mother kept saying she wanted to capture the authentic foster family look, which apparently didn't include the daughter who didn't share their pale skin and blonde hair. The exclusion started subtly. Years ago. "Rachel, can you take this photo of us?" My mother would ask at family vacations, handing me her phone. Then she'd pose with Thomas, Ethan, and Madison, the biological family, while I stood behind the camera. The photos would go on Facebook. Family Beach Day. The comments would pour in. Beautiful family. No one noticed I wasn't in the picture. When Ethan graduated from high school 3 years ago, my mother hired a professional photographer for family portraits. We all got dressed up, but when we arrived at the studio, my mother sighed, "Let's do some with just the 4 of us first. Rachel, you can wait here." The 4 of us session lasted the entire appointment. We never got everyone together. Those photos hung in our living room for 2 years. Ethan in his cap and gown, surrounded by his parents and sister. I was at that graduation. I just wasn't in the memory of it. Last Christmas, my mother created a photo album titled The Foster Family Through the Years. I flipped through it at Christmas dinner. Hundreds of photos. I appeared in maybe 15 of them, mostly from when I was very young, before I became an inconvenience to the narrative. "Where am I in all these?" I asked. "Oh, these are just the professional photos. Honey, we have plenty of candids with you." She didn't. I'd checked. Madison's quinceañera was 6 months ago. My mother hired a photographer for that too. The day was full of posed family shots, grandparents, cousins, the nuclear family. "Rachel, can you help Aunt Carol with the catering setup?" my mother asked during family portrait time. "We're almost done here." I spent Madison's quinceañera in the kitchen while my family took dozens of photos I'd never be part of. The comments got more direct as I got older. "Rachel, you should wear your hair straight for the photo. The curls are a bit much. Maybe just a touch more makeup to even out your complexion with Madison's. Stand in the back for this one. You're taller than Madison, and it throws off the composition." Code words. Always code words. Never, "We don't want you visible." Always a reason that sounded almost reasonable if you didn't look too closely. 2 months ago, my mother announced we'd be doing professional family photos for this year's Christmas card. I want something really special this year. Classic, elegant, timeless. She hired Carmen Rodriguez, a photographer whose work she'd seen at the country club. $500 for a 1-hour session. "Everyone needs to wear white," my mother declared. "Clean, sophisticated look. We'll do it in the living room with natural light." She took Madison shopping for the perfect dress, took Ethan to get a new white but bought my father a white linen shirt. For me, she ordered something online. When it arrived, it was a white dress but different from Madison's. Simpler. Less detailed. The kind of thing you'd barely notice in a photo. "It's perfect," she said when I tried it on. Very understated. The day of the shoot, Carmen arrived at 2 p.m. with her equipment. She was maybe 40, Latina, professional, but warm. She smiled at me when my mother introduced everyone. "This is my husband Thomas, my son Ethan, my daughter Madison, and Rachel. Not my daughter Rachel, just Rachel." Carmen's smile flickered, but she stayed professional. "Beautiful family. Let's start setting up." She spent 20 minutes arranging lighting, testing angles, positioning us in the living room. My mother directed everything like a film director. "Thomas, stand here. Ethan, next to your father. Madison, in front." "That's perfect." "And Rachel?" Carmen asked. "Oh, Rachel can stand here." My mother positioned me at the very edge of the frame, half hidden behind my father. We took several shots. My mother reviewed each one on Carmen's camera screen. The composition feels off. Too crowded." Carmen adjusted the spacing. We shot again. Still not quite right. My mother studied the images. "Or do you know what? Let me see something. Rachel, can you step out for a minute? I want to see how it looks with just the four of us." I felt my stomach drop. "Step out?" "Just for comparison, to see the framing." I moved aside. Carmen positioned my parents, brother, and sister. They looked perfect, bland, polished, matching J. Crew catalog family. Carmen took several shots without me. My mother reviewed them on the camera screen, and her face lit up. Oh, these are beautiful. This is exactly what I wanted." "So we'll take the full family shots now?" Carmen asked. My mother hesitated. "Actually, Carmen, I think these work better. The composition is cleaner, less cluttered." "Less cluttered," Carmen repeated slowly. "Yes. And honestly, for the Christmas card, we want something that really captures the Foster family essence." I was standing 10 feet away, still in my white dress, hearing my mother explain why I didn't need to be in my own family's Christmas photo. "Mrs. Foster," Carmen said carefully, "Rachel is part of your family. She should be in the family photo." Of course she's part of the family. But she wasn't feeling well. "Earlier were you, Rachel? Maybe it's better if she sits this one out. She can be in other photos later." There would be no later. We both knew it. "Rachel," Carmen said, ignoring my mother, "how are you feeling? Are you well enough to be in this photo?" All eyes turned to me. My father looked uncomfortable. Ethan was checking his phone. Madison stared at the floor. "I'm fine," I said quietly. "See?" Carmen said to my mother. "She's fine. Let's get the full family shot." My mother's smile was strained. "Carmen, I appreciate your input, but I'm the client, and I'd prefer to just do the four of us for the main Christmas card photo. We can take others with Rachel for our personal collection. The personal collection that will never be printed or framed or shared," Carmen said. The room went silent. "I'm sorry." My mother sighed, ice in her voice. Carmen set down her camera. "Mrs. Foster, I've been a photographer for 15 years. I specialize in family portraits, and I've seen this before." "Seen what before?" "Parents who exclude adopted children from family photos. Parents who want to present a certain image, usually one that does uninclude children who do and look like them." My mother's face flushed red. "That's completely inappropriate. Rachel is my daughter." "Then why isn't she in the photo?" Carmen's voice was calm but firm. "You hired me for a family portrait, but you're asking me to photograph only part of your family. It's my choice as the parent. It's discrimination," Carmen said flatly. "You're excluding a child based on her appearance, based on the fact that she doesn't look like your biological children. How dare you?" "I dare because I'm a professional, and I won't participate in this." Carmen started packing her camera. "I'm Latina, Mrs. Foster. My parents are from Guatemala. I know what it feels like to be erased from family narratives because you fit the aesthetic." My father finally spoke. "Carmen, I think you're misunderstanding." "I'm not misunderstanding anything, Mr. Foster." She looked at me. Rachel, how many family photos are you in? Real ones, not just candid. Professional portraits, holiday cards, the ones your parents frame and share. I couldn't speak. Tears were choking me. Carmen turned back to my parents. I looked at your Facebook page before this shoot. Standard practice. I like to see what kind of style clients prefer. You know what I noticed? In the last 3 years, you've posted 47 family photos. Rachel appears in 4 of them. 4 out of 47. My mother opened her mouth but no sound came out. Your daughter is 17 years old, Carmen continued. In a few months, she graduated high school. She'll leave for college, and when she looks back at her childhood, what will she see? A family that literally erased her from their visual history. You're being ridiculous. My mother sighed, but her voice wavered. This is one photo. It's never one photo. It's a pattern. And you thought no one would call it out because it's subtle. Because you always have a reason. She was helping with setup. She wasn't feeling well. The composition worked better without her. Carmen looked at Ethan and Madison. Do either of you think your sister should be in this family photo? Madison looked at the floor. Ethan shifted uncomfortably. That's what I thought, Carmen said. You've all been complicit, maybe not actively, but by staying silent, by letting your mother erase your sister over and over again. Carmen walked over to me. Rachel, honey, I need to ask you something. Do you want to be in this photo? I'd been silent for so long, years of swallowing pain, of accepting that I was less important, less visible, less wanted. Yes, I whispered, then louder, yes, I want to be in the photo. I want to be in my family's Christmas card. I want to exist in our family pictures. My mother tried again. Rachel, sweetie, this isn't about you not existing. Yes, it is. The words burst out of me. It's exactly about that. You've been erasing me for years. Every vacation, every holiday, every special occasion you find a reason why I shouldn't be in the photo, or you put me in the back where no one can see me, or you crop me out later. That's not true. Last Christmas, I found the photo file on your computer, the one you sent out for Christmas cards. You edited me out of the original shot. I was standing right there, and you photoshopped me out. My father's head snapped toward my mother. Diane, you didn't. Her silence was confirmation. Oh my God, Ethan said quietly. Mom? Madison started crying. Carmen pulled something up on her phone. Mrs. Foster, I did more research than just your Facebook. I found your family photographer from 3 years ago. I called her this morning. You what? She remembered your family. She remembered being asked to exclude Rachel from certain key shots. She felt uncomfortable about it but thought it wasn't her place to question a client. She's regretted it ever since. Carmen showed her phone to my parents. It was an email thread with the previous photographer. She saved all the original files, including ones where Rachel was in the shot, and the edited versions you requested where Rachel was removed or hidden. She is willing to provide them as evidence if Rachel ever needs them. Evidence, my father said. Evidence for what? For a family court case about emotional abuse, Carmen said. Because that's what this is. Systematic exclusion of an adopted child based on racial bias. It's documented, it's provable, and it's illegal under adoption laws in Connecticut. My mother sank onto the couch. I never meant. I wasn't trying to hurt her. Then what were you trying to do? Carmen asked. I just wanted ... I wanted our family to look a certain way. The way I imagined it, the way people expect the Fosters to look. And Rachel didn't fit that image, Carmen said, because she's Latina, because she has darker skin, because she looks different from your biological children. The word hung in the air. Racism. My mother had never used slurs, never said anything overtly hateful. But she spent 14 years making me invisible because my brown skin disrupted her perfect white family aesthetic. I think I need to leave, Carmen said, packing the last of her equipment. I won't be charging you for this session, and I won't be providing any photos. Wait, my father said. What do we do now? Carmen looked at him. That's up to Rachel. She's almost 18. She's not a child anymore. She gets to decide what happens next. Everyone looked at me. I'd been silent for so long. Accepting. Accommodating. Trying to be invisible enough that maybe they'd let me stay. But I was tired of being invisible. I'm not going to be in your Christmas photo, I said to my mother. Not because you don't want me there, but because I don't want to be there. I don't want to pretend we're something we're not. Rachel, I'm going to finish high school. I'm going to college in 8 months. And after that, I don't know if I'll ever come back to this house. My father stood. Rachel, that's extreme. We can work through this, can we? Can we work through 14 years of you watching her erase me and saying nothing? 14 years of you letting her crop me out of our family story? He had no answer. I looked at Madison and Ethan. I don't blame you. You were kids, too. But you're old enough now to know this was wrong. And you stayed silent. Madison was crying harder now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Rachel. I know. And I did. Madison was 15. Still under our mother's influence. But she'd let it happen. They all had Carmen handed me a business card. Rachel, this is my personal number. If you need anything, documentation, testimony, someone to talk to you, call me. You don't go through this alone. I took the card, grateful for this stranger who'd done more for me in 30 minutes than my family had done in years. After Carmen left, my parents tried to talk to me, tried to explain, to justify, to minimize. I went to my room and didn't come out. 3 days later, I called my guidance counselor. Then I called a family lawyer. Then I called Karma. With Carmen's help, we gathered the evidence, hundreds of photos where I'd been excluded, cropped out, or hidden. The edited files, the Facebook page analysis, statements from the previous photographer. My parents were horrified when the lawyer contacted them. Horrified not by what they'd done, but by the fact that I'd documented it. We didn't go to court. Instead, my parents agreed to pay for my entire college education, all for years. Any school I wanted. They agreed to therapy, both family therapy and individual therapy for my mother. And they agreed to let me make my own choices about contact going forward. I'm 80 now. I graduated high school last month. The graduation photos my parents posted on Facebook include me front and center, where I should have been all along. But it feels empty, like they're performing having a complete family now that someone called them out. I'm going to UCLA in the fall. Across the country, I talk to Madison every week. She's working through her own guilt and complicity. Ethan messages occasionally. My father sends awkward texts, trying to rebuild something. My mother and I don't speak, but Carmen, I talk to every month. She's become a mentor, a friend, someone who saw me when my own family chose not to. My name is Rachel Martinez. I'm 17 years old. At a family photo shoot, my mother told me I wasn't needed, that the picture worked better without me, that I disrupted the aesthetics she wanted to project. But the photographer disagreed. She refused to participate in my erasure. She called out 14 years of racial bias disguised as aesthetics. She documented evidence. She gave me power. Family photos are supposed to be memories. But what do you do when your family's favorite memory is one without you in it? You stop trying to fit into their frame. You build your own. And you make sure that the little brown-skinned girl you once were knows that she was always worthy of being seen. She always belonged in the picture. She just needed someone brave enough to insist she'll stay in it.